Starting over again. Hi, welcome to my planner journal Techo Kaigi 2025 plan thing. I just tried to film this, which is not even the second time I've tried to film this. Every time I try and film it, I'm so scatterbrained right now that I think, oh, I should do that for my planner. Let's start over. And yeah, hence no videos this week. Anyways, okay, so let's start with planners. I was in this Hobonichi Weeks. I love this cover. I'm going to miss it terribly. And like, I even had the temptation to cut the stuff out of this cover. cut 2025 stuff out and stick it in this cover and put a sticker right there. But no, this is the 2024 cover, which I loved. And it's gone. Or it will be gone soon. I go to the end of the year in my planners. That way, if I'm looking for something that happened in 2024, it's in this. So, which is good because I'm in a Kinbor next year, not a Hobonichi. I did a video doing a pin test and things like that in this journal or planner, and I'm just going to use it exactly the way as I used the last one, except I think that there was something that I didn't have on here. Yeah, so I kind of manage some deliveries. We deliver things at my job, and I had the whole schedule in here on these pages, and I don't have this in this book, which is a super bummer, but I'm going to try and figure something out. I'm gonna, maybe I'll use this for that, because I don't ever, that wasn't in here, or was it? No. So maybe I'll just use this somehow. I could actually write more information. All right, that's my plan. Never mind, we don't have a crisis. Yeah, I used this really well all this year. There's only been a couple of weeks where I just completely gacked and didn't use my planner and fell apart. I like that I can just throw this in my bag and it's really light and my whole plan goes with me. I plan everything. So I have kind of two services I manage. So I plan for both of them. And let me see if I can find a page. And my personal. So yeah, this is time, things that have to happen that day at a certain time. This is the stuff for job 1. This is stuff for job 2, personal stuff, and running to-do list, which, as you can tell, I did not do that great this week at tracking all those things, but yeah. And then down here, I usually put a personal thing I have to do. Yeah, so that's going to kind of just behave exactly the same way. This without the clear cover on, which is a Kinbor clear cover because it's a little bit taller, can fit in my Eternal Leather Goods cover if I want it to. This is my favorite cover. It's kind of, this one and my Moterm are probably the only ones I'm going to keep. I've sold my Galen Leather one, and I'm trying to sell my Hand Stitched Leather Tea one. And here's going to go my Reckless Planner Massacre book that I did in a video. I'll just be kind of covering or ignoring the dates that are still in here. This used to be a Sterling Ink, whatever their week size is called, N1, that I just really didn't use. So I just took everything that I had used out, cut that out, and yeah. We'll be using this. So this is going to be my keeping track of letters that I write and what I stuck in them, because I don't remember, and I feel like I keep sending people the same, Happy Mail ephemera stuff over and over, or talking about the same thing. So I'm just going to kind of, use it like a notebook. I'm going to take a picture of the ephemera stuff that I'm sending. And this was supposed to be a reading journal, but that's not what it's going to be. That's changed its mind. So I'll take a picture of whatever ephemera I've sent, and then I'll write what I've written about. I'll just ignore all the dates and all the lines and stuff and just, you know, do it as is, because I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over. So that is planner. God, you should see the mess behind me. Okay. So for journaling, at the beginning of the year, I was in this TN size. And so this is January, February, this is March and April. And what I usually do by the time it hits May, you know, I bounce around sizes for the first part of the year. And then kind of, you know, go into an A6. I have like 13, 14, 15. I don't know how many of these. These are just the A6 plain Hobonichi notebook. They're about the size of an Avec. Look at this thing. It's, yeah. It's called chonky. I like the chunk. What I'm going to do next year, because I really enjoyed being in this size. I wasn't really that into the Travelers Company paper, but this one was a Tomoe River paper one that I cut up a lightweight, the 013 insert. I just made it as many pages as it would take me to do 2 months, because I journal daily. Like this. And then, so I only made it to November in this. Usually I make it to the end of the year. I'm not quite sure what happened here. But I only made it to November. So for December, and I'm not going to do any December daily thing with prompts or anything like that. I'm going to go back in here. I made myself, so I took more pages from the 013 insert that I'd had, but just put enough for 1 month in here for December. It's all wrinkled. I was just struggling. So yeah, there's enough for 1 month in here. And then next year, because I'll be used to being in that size, I will go into this. This is just one of these A5 Hobonichi plain notebooks. So this is the A5 size, and I just cut it down to TN size. And yeah, that's going to go in here. And then also I'll be doing another photo a day. This is the photo. There's going to be lots of photo a days. This is going to be the photo of a day of kind of my life stuff. And then I love doing the photo a day so much. And then let's go to this book. Get this one out of the way. So this is an A5 Moterm chestnut color. Oh, you know what? Let me turn on. Oh gosh, that's really bright. All right, yes, chestnut. So what I've done, because I was trying not to buy anything. I didn't entirely succeed. So what I did was where's that dang thing? Pause. I had a social media journal. I failed miserably at it. Well, I did it, but I was supposed to be writing kind of what I talked about in the video and stuff like that. I was completely uninterested in doing that. So what I've decided to do, instead of this, wasting a whole weeks for this, which I wrote nothing in the back. I decided in this Hobonichi A5 plain notebook, I'm just going to print out my thumbnails. That way I can have an overview of what videos went up when. It doesn't matter when I taped them. It's just when they went up. So I could look back and, you know, easily kind of find that information. So I don't know whether you can see. You see these little crosses? I tried drawing lines. You guys know that I had like my eyeball explode, and you know, it's much, much better, but it's not great. I can't see straight. I can't draw lines. So it's little crosses. I'm going to print out photos, like my photo a day of my thumbnails, and just post those in here. And I'll write out the monthlies. So then after that, I'm going to do that for the whole year here. And then I'm going to do my monthly ink. Turn the page. And these have the same kind of crosses, just kind of in blue, in the hopes that I don't get them mixed up. And that's going to just look like what I was doing in here. And I'm going to do that for the whole year. I went through and drew all these crosses out. And then weekly pen and ink is going to look like this. This was my test page. So I went through and at first this is where I was trying to draw out the lines. It just didn't go well. So I erased down some of it, as much of it as I could, and then just kind of stopped doing that. So as you can see, like the numbers are down here for 2 weeks. I decided to have 2 weeks instead of the way it was in here, where it was 1 week, because I don't really need all that space to do it in. And I thought, you know, I'd use less pages if I went 2 weeks. So yeah, I did that out for the whole year. And I got to September and I just must have, you know, shorted out, because you can, I don't know, can you see this? Oh, I know how to show you. I screwed up. It started misnumbering, but luckily I'd only done kind of like 1 or 2 a day at that point. So I had to go through and tape on other pieces of Hobonichi paper. It's not really going to matter. I don't think you're going to really see this once all the ink and everything's there. So I'm trying to let it go and not get all freaked out about it. And then this. So what this is, let me explain. All right. I had meant to color in each day, like just to have even more places that I'm swatching, because I like swatching, guys. You know, what pen I use daily. I thought it would be really nice to have kind of the overview, you know, the 365 check off thing they have in Hobonichi. And I was just going to do it on the page for the Hobonichi. And I went to go take it out, and this happened. And I thought, I have another one in here that I haven't used. I thought, oh, I could use that one. And I scanned it in. Well, I took one out of another book even, because I just had so many of these left. And I scanned it in, and it didn't kind of look that great scanned. So I lost my mind. It's basically what happened. I lost my mind. I scanned it in. I loaded it into Canva. I figured out the sizing. And I went through and I made a bunch of circles. And I'm not sure if you could see this, but very, very faintly put in all the numbers. So this one is 366 days. So that one's for the leap year. That's for the regular year. This is the scan of... I just didn't like how dark it was. I don't want to see the numbers through kind of my lighter inks. You know, I just want the visual of what it's going to look like. So I did 365... You know, this one's the leap year and this one's the 365. And printed them on Tomoe River paper and tipped it in. I don't know if I'm going to hate this. If I'm going to hate this, I'm not going to do it anymore. But that's why I just tipped it in with some the MT kind of cream off-white washi tape. So that is the plan for that. And then the rest of it will be, there'll be like 12 currently inked pages, and I'm just going to kind of give myself some space so that I'll leave a chunk for currently inked, and I'll leave a chunk, the rest of it will just be all ink play like it was in the other book. So then, because I was thinking about the my reading log, I also tried to do a reading log. That went a little bit better. So yeah, I was doing reviews and kind of, this is from the Hobonichi stencil. Where's that stencil? It should be in here. Here it is. The green one. Just drawing out the little stars with that. That went a little bit better. But I don't know. I don't think I was enjoying it. So I think that I'm just going to do the pictures, because the pictures are really kind of tiny and you can't really tell what they are all the time. I wanted to do that a little bit bigger. So I tried to draw my calendar out in here, but I don't know. Let me find the page that bothered me. I had been using, so I used this as the scrap to figure out the dailies, and when I took it out, I ripped a bunch of stuff. There were so many things that were just going wrong with this. Can you see right here where it starts to go off? The alignment from page to page. This one's okay, I guess. Yeah, like, can you see that? I don't know why it was bothering me. Plus, I got a really bad crick in my neck and a headache for a week from drawing all these crosses. I'm old, guys. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go look for the monthly that I did, my photo monthly for 2023 from Muji. So I went to Muji. So this one. I liked that the pictures were bigger, and I thought this would be good because then I could just write in the back what, what was going on if I wanted to write about a book. But Muji didn't have them. Instead, they had this weird thing. So this is just pure monthlies, and this was on sale because it's kind of Black Friday stuff for £3, and it just, why does it have, like, can you see that there's very faint, I don't know whether that's just seeing it through. You shouldn't see it through. It's weird. It's like on the card, and then over here, nobody's gonna use that. I'm gonna just cover that. And then there's like a very strange amount of months in here. There's like 28 months in here. So I figure I'll just print out the books, put them in here. Of course, this is not the same size as the A5. It's just like a little bit smaller. It may work. I'm just going to print something out and test it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to figure out the size scale of it. But this is what I'm going to do with my reading thing. Just my overview. Oh, look, I read, X amount of books this month. I like these monthly overviews. I find them very helpful. I use them a lot. I refer back to them a lot. So I've got monthly overviews of the yin yang. I think what I'll use this one for, since I already drew out some boxes, is to just do like all my red inks, all my purple inks, all my blue inks kind of thing. I think I've seen Simona do it. Somebody did it. I'll find it and I'll copy it. So yeah, this is A5. It's such a weird notebook. So I got 2 of these because they were so cheap. So that's got me, I could do this for 4 years, which is good. I don't have to buy any more things. I was tempted to do my photo a day in there instead of you know, the one I'm in my journal. I just have a blank TN that's a lot like my monthly TN, but I kind of just want to pick, because Muji didn't make the same thing that they had in 2023 and made something different. I just want to kind of, for my monthly photo calendar, my usual one, I want to be consistent. I don't think Traveler's Coupling's going away anytime soon, so I can, you know, trust them to stick around, and I'll stick with that size, and so they can all be on a shelf looking really nice together. And then for the, basically the the other swatch thing, so I kind of do this as I go along to stick in my journal. I like the look of this. It looks really nice. I like starting my month off seeing my previous month's inks that I used. They didn't have them. I got these at Muji last year. They were sticky notes, so they're kind of a pain in the butt anyways. I had to use my sand eraser to get rid of the adhesive kind of feeling on it. Otherwise the ink wouldn't stick to it very well. So I'm sad but not sad that those are gone. I thought about doing a photocopy of it and trying to figure it out, and then I remembered I have this stamp. I got this stamp a while back from wow, this ink did not dry. It's been sitting there like this for 30 minutes. Okay. I got the stamp from Flying Tiger over here, and I got it a couple years ago, but I saw it in there. They still have it. And I'm just going to stamp it out onto my river paper. And I don't care if it's wonky. I mean, that kind of wonky, I do care. But that amount of wonky, you know, this bit I wouldn't have minded, because, you know, nobody's really going to be looking at that. Everybody's going to be looking at the colors. So, yeah, that's how I'm going to do that this year. Just going to stamp it out. So, is that everything? No. One more thing. I had done a video about this. Well, I'd started a video about this, but I got stuck because I just couldn't make myself start. This is an endless recorder, lined, which, I don't know, I don't usually do lined. And I was going to do a recipe book, and I'll put an image up on the screen of the kind of look of it. I did one for my mom for, was it her birthday? Yeah, for her birthday. I was taking her recipes and making them look cute, because she's got this like binder that she uses with like plastic sleeves and stuff. It's like a flip binder that you can get on Amazon. And I made all of this imagery for, you know, let me pour this out, to make it. But the thing is, there's so much paper in here, and I don't have that many recipes. So, yeah, I decided, because while I was in Muji, and while they were having a sale, that I would do it in a thinner book. So, this is an old Hipponoto from like the very first release that I'd cut down to be much, much thinner. This is my first Reckless Massacre. I made 4 out of that. So this is the A5 Slim high quality paper from Muji. It's kind of lined, but it's got a bit of a faint grid. I don't know. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. And it's much, much thinner. So basically the recipe would look like the image that I showed you, but you'd have like chicken curry, you know, down there right out the recipe. And, you know, every single one of my recipes would be in here. It would be a nice book. I mean, I eat low carb, so all my recipes are kind of things that I made up or altered. Or they're things that my son eats. Macaroni and cheese. I got all these images off of Canva. So this will be macaroni and cheese, which is how we make macaroni and cheese for my kid, who's 21 and still eats like he always has. This cover was an A5 Slim kind of, you know, that paper cover, that paper that gets really crinkly. Like I have an Esterbrook bag of it. It's paper fabric. What's it called? I'm gonna have to put it on the screen because I can't remember. They were selling these in Muji a while back, and I just grabbed one because I was like, "Oh, I love this kind of paper cover," and I have never seen them since. I can't find them. If I want another one, I'm gonna have to make it, but I can because I have a bunch of this fabric. But yeah, they're kind of the only ones that make this A5 Slim. But when I first bought it, I was like, wow, that's exactly the size that I have of that Hipponoto that I cut down. Yeah, that just does not look good together. What was I thinking? Why didn't I cover that green? But I now have nowhere to put this. So I might have to make myself another one. All right, that was not very exciting, but that's what it is. That's my whole plan. Recipe book. I'm not going to put that together right now. Recipe book, ink log, loads of monthly photo representation of everything I do. And yeah, that's it. Knew I was going to forget something. 5-year. So in my 5-year, let's see, where's the... I've started drawing out lines. I'm going to just continue it, and it's going to be 9 years. So 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. I'm just going to keep going because I do not want the new paper. And I do not want to waste it. I never could think of what to do on the right-hand side, so that's what I'm going to do on the right-hand side. And that's it.